is our first reaction, where all rancor is released. This is a call to peace. There have been times when we've been tested, felt isolated and disconnected, but we are stronger than our fears, and the future's brighter than it appears. We can build on our common beliefs. Yes, we can. This is a call to peace. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a call to the greatness we're all made of. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. And my sisters, we all know there's a bond between us that we can't let go. I'll hear your truth, you hear mine, and we'll respect each other until we find that all bitterness can finally cease. This is our call to peace. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a call to the greatness we're all made of. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a call to peace. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a call to the greatness we're all made of. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a call to peace. It's a call to love. It's a great Harold Payne song for you. Thank you. So it is.
Well, I want to warn you about that introduction. I gave the information to Laura that I'd been a priest for 10 years. I was a I've been a therapist for 27 years and studied the Course in Miracles for 40 years. That either makes me a very old man or an expert. So that was the hidden punch in that introduction. And this will come up later. Remember, you're supposed to think I'm an expert. Now, I've been doing marriage counseling for 27 years. And I have noticed something. When people give up on love, they embrace power over the other. When loving one another becomes difficult, we tend to give up. And we revert to having power over the one that we used to love. The kind of power I'm talking about looks like blame, judgment, and criticism. Love looks like forgiveness, acceptance, and encouragement. You remember Andy Mayberry? Remember Andy? In Andy Mayberry, Andy represented love and Barney represented power. Barney was a little paranoid, so he was constantly afraid of a crime wave coming to Mayberry. As a result of his fear, Barney was constantly armed and dangerous, with a pistol on his hip and a bullet in his shirt pocket. Andy was constantly talking Barney out of his paranoid fantasies and urging him not to make a big deal out of his fears. Now, we are faced with a choice every day of whether to be Andy or Barney. As Jesus put it, be in the world, but not of the world. As Charles Fillmore put it, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. You all know that by heart, don't you? Yes, isn't that great? The world has forgotten its spiritual identity and too often is going for its gun. Most of my life, I have been Barney, going for my gun, struggling to find my bullet, defending myself from my own imagination. When we do the divinity salute, I sometimes think to myself, the Barney in me greets the Barney in you, and together we are very nervous. Luckily, I found Edgar Cayce early in life at 8 years old. 8 years old. In his readings, Edgar Cayce says that we come from God, and incarnation after incarnation, we go back to God. Amen. But our identity is from God. Who am I? I'm a child of God. Who are you? A child of God. Amen. I love it when we're in agreement. So from the age of 8, I had a secret identity. Tom Baker, child of God, reporting for duty. Because I was so often afraid, I was a bit smug about my stealthy identity. People would say in a downcast way, well, I'm only human. And I would think to myself, what fools these mortals be. When I get scared, I get arrogant, superior. I knew something about myself that no one else noticed, and that was true about all of us. But only a few knew our true identity. I felt that made me someone special. When I became a priest, I even wore a uniform that pointed to my special identity. Holy priest, and vestments that made me look like a bearded angel in aviation glasses. Remember those aviation glasses? Yeah, that's what I wore those. As a priest, what I noticed was how frightened the world was. Everywhere we are told, from many, many sources, that we might be sick, we might be poor, we might be wrong, and ultimately we are going to die. That's the news of the world. What if we were told we might be well? We might be prosperous. We might be right. And that death was an enormous and frightening illusion where the body dies and the spirit is released to soar into a loving universe. That's the good news of the gospel and the good news of the kingdom. That's what we hear in church. But in real life, how does our divine identity work? In other words, when the chips are down, can my divine identity save me? Speaking from experience, this was not in the introduction, I would say yes. About a year ago, I was giving a talk at the ARE, the Edgar Cayce Institute, when I had a panic attack. I began to shake, and I couldn't stop. Like this. This is the moment that a speaker hopes never comes. This was catastrophe. I'm a little uncomfortable even talking about it. It made sense that I would have a panic attack since I was talking about something I knew very little about. I was talking about grief. And the truth of the matter is, I have known very little grief in my life. Believing in the spirit world, I have no fear of death. It's life I worry about. And here I was in the middle of life, feeling naked and afraid before a group of very surprised people. At first, I thought I was dying. And then I noticed that my breathing was okay, and my heart was all right. I didn't have any heart pain. And then I thought, maybe I'm dying to who I'm supposed to be. What do you think of that? You think that's right? Because who I was supposed to be was the authority. I immediately started the story about myself. You're a phony. You're a charlatan. You're a fake. Then I remembered something I had read in the Course in Miracles that morning. And it was very simple. It said, "You are as love created you." It later said, "Love created you like itself." And I thought, and then I calmed down. I stopped shaking. I am a spiritual being having a miserable human experience. And I was among other spiritual beings like myself who also loved me. On the surface, they were embarrassed for me. I could see that they were uncomfortable. They weren't shaking, but they were like this. When people bow their heads, it's a sign of problems, except when you pray. Well, I calmed down and I started to feel rather well. The worst thing had happened and I was still standing. Inside, I was all right. Embarrassment is sort of like an extreme sport. You don't know what will happen next, so you're forced into the present moment, and sometimes forced into your true self. In a few minutes of shaking, I shook off the false self, the expert, and became one with myself and everyone there. Now, my false self is the expert, or as women put it, the mansplainer. The mansplainer. You ever run into the mansplainer? Yes. Many of you have and turned away. I can understand that. Women nag and men explain why they're nagging and how to fix it. None of this works, by the way. Most of my adult life, I've thought I needed to be the expert explainer. This false self, my own Barney Fife, has made me very nervous. My true self simply says, I love who you and I are becoming. Now, when I say the world is falling apart, I mean that confused human beings are afraid. The world is not really something outside of ourselves. It's a reflection of each of us. All put together, we call that the world. And the world is very afraid. When we become afraid, we blame one another, we judge, we criticize. It's a mess. It's made our politics a brutal affair. Thus, we trust one another less and less. Yet we are not trapped in our politics or in our catastrophic fantasies about the future and each other. We are spiritual beings, experimenting with being human and bringing the human race to a peaceful place. But we live forever. Life is like a psychodrama in which we learn by going through lots and lots of ordeals. You often say, I know, because I say it too. I don't want any drama in my life. Good luck. This place is made of drama. Come on. All of our entertainments are dramatic. We pay money to watch drama. And we're dramatic with each other. But with every ordeal we experience, we become a little more peaceful, a little more courageous, and a little more kind. I tell myself, and I tell you now, don't give up on the world. Because despite appearances to the contrary, we are very close to peace. It's all a matter of remembering who we are and spreading the good news that all of us are the sons and daughters of love itself. In that, we are all experts. Thank you. So sweet. Laura said, do you want to do the meditation or do you want me to do it? I, as usual, forgot the meditation. Feet on the floor, head in the clouds. Remember now that you are as love created you. And love created you like itself. Fear not. You are loved. You are noticed. You are cared for. Every hair on your head, every step you take is counted and noted. Nothing is forgotten and nothing is wasted. This life has not been a failure. This life has not been a mess. Nothing to regret, only ordeals to learn from. We have learned great things, the greatest of which is our divinity, which learns of itself by moving away and towards itself, back and forth, who I wish to be and who I am. Dear Lord, this day, help us to lay back, to sit back, to relax into who we are, without regret, without fear of the future, without fear of scarcity or abandonment or rejection, but knowing that we are loved and we are forgiven. In the silence now, sit and do not think, but let yourself be held in the arms of grace. Remember who you are. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you, Tom.
Can we all give a round of applause to Tom again? I mean, what a gift. What a gift. You are such a gift to us. Thank you so much. This is the time in our service where we invite you to share in our love offering. It's important to remember that in our hearts, the joy of giving, when we give to others, we give to ourselves in fashion, form, and in feeling, because we can feel it in our hearts when we're giving to others, right? You may give online to our website or on our app. If you go into the app, there's a little heart symbol down at the bottom. Click on that. It'll take you to the Tidely site. Or you can, one of the easiest ways to give is via your smartphone by texting give, then the amount of your choosing to 404181228. Text now.
I just wanted to see if you remember.
There's also a love offering basket in the back if you happen to be here in the Meyer Hall and you wanted to donate by check or cash by your choosing. I invite you to hold your gift in your hand as we bless it with our offertory blessing. Together, divine me, love through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Give it back to you. Well, Tom talked about inner vision, and I think this song's a good one for us to think about. And it's a good affirmation. Let's say, I can see clearly now. I can see clearly. Yeah. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's going to be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. If you feel it, sing it. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Whoa, 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 it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Oh, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Give yourselves a hand. Give David Kennedy a hand. Give Kim Warder a hand.
We'd like to welcome the folks here that are here for the first time. If you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you for connecting with us today. Keep your hands raised. We've got ushers coming around. Keep your hands raised. We've got ushers coming around. They're going to be bringing you a packet. In that packet is going to be information about unity. There's a gift in the packet as well. And there is a daily word publication, my favorite, that we affirm will help you on your own spiritual journey. If you fill out the card that's inside the packet and take it to the bookstore, there's an additional gift for you as well.
Community Outreach is inviting you to come and prepare and help serve dinner at the JCOC. The meal will be prepared in our kitchen on the afternoon of Friday, July the 28th, and the guests will, bless you, and the guests will be served at the Judo Christian Outreach Center, which is near the ocean front, at 5:30 that evening. You can register online or on the wall in the narthex.
Please welcome Sandy Steffen up here for our Boutique Art Gallery Spotlights.
Well, hello again, Unity Renaissance. Our Boutique Art Gallery is now featuring our 31st show and our 32nd artist, which is, thank you. Our artist these 2 months, July and August, is Megan Stuber. She hails from Richmond and has driven down to join us this morning, so please meet and greet her afterwards.
Stand up, Megan. Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Her show is entitled One Home, which reflects her education in environmental biology and her many, many years in science education. She has turned that passion to art now, and I believe that her own personal statement. Through my art, I hope to open people's eyes to the wonderful world around me and make them question our relationship with the planet. So please welcome Megan Stuber.
And a hand for Sandy Steffens. This is Sandy's ministry. She's been bringing art to Unity Renaissance now for the last 5 years or so. Thank you, Sandy.
In case y'all haven't already started, please check them out. They are beautiful. I mean, amazing. Everybody noticed something different. Oh, look at the new artwork. So check it out, guys.
I want that one.
I know, me too. Okay, guys, we are getting ready for our annual school supply drive, which we do every single year. We support the students at Thurgood Marshall Elementary School, so we're going to be collecting backpacks, pencils, papers, anything that the kids can use, and please bring them. We'll be accepting them through August the 13th. The boxes are already out on the north deck, so please support our students.
Thursday, July 20th at 6 p.m., we have a vegan cooking class. Lisbeth, can you stand up for us, please? Learn to cook with jackfruit. You guys, you can make jackfruit barbecue. It tastes amazing. This is a hands-on class, and it is $40. Pre-registration is required, and seats are limited. So please, if you want to register, please register soon. And we'd like to welcome our friend Charlie O'Dowd up here for another spotlight.
Hey folks, so for spiritual cinema in the summer, we've chosen family films. On Friday night the 21st, we're going to be showing The Little Prince. I know many of you have read this book as a child or whatever. Actually, this was my son's copy from 35 years ago. Anyway, this film is a reimagining of the story. It's not a musical. It's got 4 songs in it that are wonderful. It was written by Lerner and Loewe, who gave us Camelot and many other things on Broadway. It's a story of a little boy who travels around the universe, going from planet to planet, trying to find the meaning of life. He ends up on the Earth, and he meets 3 people. Actually, 1 person and 2 animals. The person is a pilot played by Richard Kiley, who was the original Man of La Mancha on Broadway. The fox is played by a young Gene Wilder in a role you've never seen him in before. It's wonderful. And the snake is played by Bob Fosse, the most famous choreographer on Broadway. And when you see him sing his song and do his dance, it's every move you ever saw Michael Jackson make 20 years before Michael Jackson. It's a brilliant, lovely film, Friday night the 21st, so please come out. We'd love to see you.
Thank you, Charlie.
A 3-week series entitled All in the Family will be offered by Reverend Vicki Bunch, that is Reverend Richard Bunch's dear wife, on Wednesday evening starting July 19th. This class will focus on the awareness of personal family systems as well as church family systems. The entire series is offered via Zoom, and it is love offering only.
Okay, Ask the Trustee. Each Sunday, as you all have probably noticed, we've been having one of our trustees available after the service to answer any questions you may have about the church, about our new minister, how the process is going and searching for that. So if you have any questions today, our trustee is Jim Hudson.
Yeah, Jim.
Woo!
So you can see him after the service.
Join us next week as we invite our dear Reverend Vicki Bunch to the platform to share her talk, Meeting Yourself in the Journey. Gosh, that sounds really resonating for me. And now I'd like to invite you to stand as we welcome in our children.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God.
Perfect. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We're on time today. Yay. And just a little changes in the way we do things. We have roles of responsibility in the classroom, so all the children have a part of what takes place during the class. And so our unit tots have one star sharer today, and our unit kids have 2 sharers today, and they've chosen that role to be brave and come up on stage and share with you all, so we're so excited for them. And if we may, could we take a prayer off of the offertory? That would be wonderful. Everyone just take a deep breath. Our exciting song. Dear sweet Spirit, thank you so much for these monetary offerings, but more so for our children, for all that they gave, all that they shared, all that they told, all that they created today, and all that they discussed in a deep, deep, deep discussion, especially in our uniteens. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so I'm going to start with the tots. Unit tots, who is my star sharer? Is that you, Sophia?
We all have different families, people, or animals.
Okay, and our unit kids, we have 2 sharers. Brooklyn?
I learned this saying, I see God in me as me. My skin, my eyes, my hands, my knees. My body is just right for me. A temple of God I'll always be. In the mirror I know I see. I see God in me as me. Amen.
And today we're talking about our body as the temple of God, and that everything that goes into our body to take care of this temple comes from God, and that connects us to everything.
Amen.
My body is a temple of God. My physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body is an expression of God.
Anyone? Uniteens? Yay, baby!
Today we talked about Sufism and exploring different religions to find your best self.
Sorry, I'm going to have to take credit. You know that one's mine, right? Just love it. And with that, please all stand and join us in the prayer of protection and the peace song.
Together. The
The
light,
light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator
can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that hide me behind. Gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Let's do the second verse. Oh, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. Gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Couple more. It's gonna be